Welcome back to EducateTube.com. My name is Sitsuki, your host. Today I'll be showing you how to make a pendant out of electrical solder. This is a lead-free, silver bearing, so it contains a bit of silver and a lot of tin and a bit of copper. I'm not exactly sure the type of metal found in this thing, but they say there's no lead in it. So you can use it to make a pendant. Alright, so I use this plastic molding to make this. This is an arch or a rainbow representing hope and promise from the Almighty. Okay, so we are going to make one today and I'll show you how to do it. Let's get started. Okay, so you need a natural clay like this one here, where you're going to place the melted solder. So you need this as well. This is lead-free solder, silver bearing, that's what it's called. And doesn't have lead in it. What you want to do is you're going to melt it with the torch. Okay, so this is a butane torch. It can go as high as 1,300 Celsius, but we only need 221 Celsius. So this is awesome, this torch. Okay, so when you get those, it'll heat up much faster. You need an object where you are going to make the jewelry. For example, I choose this object. What I'm going to do is I'm going to mold and imprint it onto the clay, right? And then what we're going to do is we're going to solder into, once it's cooled down, right? And we pour this metallic solder into that clay. Once it cooled down, we're gonna solder it back into these necklace. Like this is actually a frame hanger, right? So I just got it. It's lying around. And what you do is gonna solder it into like that. Okay, a metal piece object that you wanna mold into, and like this. Okay, something looks like this. Okay, I'll show you after when we do that. You also need, a base where you're gonna put the clay in, and then you need a knife to cut the clay right to a rectangular shape because that's a lot. You don't need to use that much. Okay, and you need a plier to, for example, once it's done, you want to grab that piece of metal out, right, and put in water. So you actually need also a jug of water as well. Okay, and cool it down, and then we're going to do that. Okay, let's get started. Okay, just a brief thing about the torch. I tried this actually, this small torch, microjet torch, but it's not as effective as this more pro torch. So go with the better torch. This one is actually allow you to continue on to heat up the elements, right? So it has this system where you just press a button and it'll continue on to heat up without pressing on it. So it's not hard work, and the flame's quite consistent. Okay, so you want to get this type of torch. Now we need a tool which will polish it, so you can get a rotary tool kit, and let's open it up. And we're going to try to polish it, shape it further. Okay, there it is. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use these tools to grind and reshape this piece of jewelry made of solder. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is going to get the clay out. This is a natural clay, so it can withstand a lot of heat. I'm going to cut a block. Depending on the size of the jewelry that you're going to use, so I'm going to probably cut this much. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to take the device, the object that you want to shape into, and just press onto the clay, an indentation that looks like that. That's the shape that I want for my jewelry. And then I'm going to pour the solder, the melted solder, into here. Now, you can be creative. Like for example, if you want to design your own, you can always print 3D object online, or if you have a 3D printer, you make it into like in a plastic form, and then now it has to be a a pretty solid object, not too flimsy, right? And then you just make an impression, indentation onto the natural clay like this one here. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to heat up the solder. Now we're going to do this outside because again, the film and the heat that comes out of it, it's not safe at inside the house. So we're going to do it where it's well ventilated, like in the garage with the air flowing in and out. Okay, so we're going to do that for safety reason. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to cut as best we can and wrap it around here. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to cut it and put it into this groove of stuff. Now what I could do is I could guess how much I need. You can actually determine how much it is by determining the volume of this thing, and then calculate the diameter of the wire and the length, and then you may be able to get an approximate volume. But if I'm a bit lazy, I'm just gonna do it quickly. Okay, so there we go. And you may need more than this, but again, just for now, I'm gonna place this like that. Okay, so something like this. Okay, and we're going to try to melt it in there. Okay, we're going to do this outside, alright, where it's well ventilated. So we'll see how much else we need. I'm going to bring this along. Make sure you wear your safety goggle, okay, and bring your pliers. Okay, there we go, and we're ready to go. Let's go. Let's see what happened. Okay, so I decided to use a better torch, the Pro torch. This one is much more better. I think it's heat more evenly and more powerful. Okay, so let's do that because I find this actually it's taking too long. It's not as effective as I thought it was. Okay, so let's turn it on. Perfect. Awesome. See that? Just wear your safety goggle. Things flying up back and forth here. Okay, it's getting pretty good. Let's do it one more time. Make sure you wear your safety goggle, safety shoe as well, and have a safety glove. Looking very hot, reaching over 1,000 degrees. Okay, so let's remove it. I think we're done. Okay, so it's, you can see it's not perfect. We're gonna just cool it down in water, and then we're ready for shaping again, polishing and shaping. So let's go back downstairs to do that. Pretty good. I'm gonna solder it into my necklace. Okay, my base necklace. I'll show you in a minute. Okay, now we're gonna solder the base first. Okay. Okay, so you can see the rainbow soldered jewelry that I made. This is made from a melted solder, lead-free, silver bearing. Okay. There is the jewelry.